A very good morning, dear students. How are you all? Today we are going to learn about human resources, and this is our second part of this chapter. In part first, we have learned about the population, distribution of population and density of population. Today we will start the factors affecting distribution of population. There are the two factors that affect the distribution of populations are the geographical factors and the social, cultural and economic factors. So what are the geographical factors? In this, first is the topography. Dear students, people always prefer to live on plains rather than mountains and plateaus because these areas are suitable for farming, manufacturing and service activities. The Ganga plains are the most densely populated areas of the world, while mountains like Andes, Alps and Himalayas are sparsely populated. Now, second geographical factor is climate. People usually avoid extreme climates that are very hot or very cold like Sahara Desert, polar regions of Russia, Canada and Antarctica. Third is soil. Fertile soils provide suitable land for agriculture. Fertile plains such as Ganga and Brahmaputra in India, Honghe, Changjiang in China and the Nile in Egypt are densely populated. Fourth factor is water. People prefer to live in the areas where fresh water is easily available. The river valleys of the world are densely populated while deserts have spare population. Minerals. Areas with minerals deposits are more populated. Diamond mines of South Africa and discovery of oil in the Middle East lead to settling of people in these areas. Social, cultural and economic factors. In this, first factor is social. Areas of better housing, education and health facilities are more densely populated. For example, Pune you can say. It is a densely populated area. In cultural, places with religion or cultural significance attract people. For example, Varanasi, Jerusalem and Vatican City are some of these examples. Economic. Industrial areas provide employment opportunities. Large number of people are attracted to these areas. For example, I have told you in previous chapter also that Osaka in Japan and Mumbai in India are two densely populated areas. Now, what is the population change? As we all know, in today's life, the population is increasing day by day. So, the population change refers to change in the number of people during a specific time. The world population has not been stable. It has increased manifold as seen. This is actually due to changes in the number of births and death. For an extremely long period of human history, we see until the 1800s, the world's populations grew steadily but slowly. Large numbers of babies were born, but they died early too. This was as there was no proper health facilities. Sufficient food was not available for all the people. Farmers were not able to produce enough to meet the food requirements of all the people. As a result, what we have observed, the total increase in population was very low. But in 1804, the world's population reached 1 billion. 155 years later, in 1959, the world's population reached 3 billion. This is often called population explosion. In 1999, 40 years later, what happened? The population doubled to 6 billion, and the main reason for this growth was that with better food supplies and medicines, deaths were reducing while the number of births still remained fairly high. Births are usually measured using the birth rate, that is the number of live births per 1000 people. Deaths are usually measured using the death rate and the number of deaths per 1000 people. For example, you are seeing here the picture, birth rate more than the death rate, populations increase. Second, birth rate and death rate same, population stays the same. It's the balance of population. Here, death rate more than the birth rate, populations here decreases. So, these are the population changes, how the population change. Now, what is migration? Migration, dear student, is the movement of people in and out of an area. Okay, birth and deaths are the natural causes of population changes. The difference between the birth rate and the death rate of a country is called the natural growth rate. What is the natural growth rate? The difference between the birth rate and the death rate of a country is called a natural growth rate. Now, what is immigrants and immigrants? Dear students, migration is another way by which population size changes. People may move within a country or between the countries. So, through this we will go through the immigrants are the people who leave a country and immigrants are those who arrive in a country. For example, countries like the United States of America and Australia have gained in numbers by in-migration or immigration. And Sudan is an example of a country that has experienced a loss in population numbers due to out-migration or immigration. So, dear students, the general trend of international migrations is from the less developed nation to the more developed nation in search of better employment opportunities. You can take example of our country also. Most of the peoples move out from our countries to USA, Canada, means to those countries who are very rich and have more opportunities. So, within countries, large number of people may move from the rural to urban areas in search of employment, education and health facilities. So, dear students, revise these whole concept what I have taught you today, and the rest of the part of this chapter we will continue in part 3 of this chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye.